Do you want to know why this stranger sprocket will keep your chain from breaking? Today we're going to do an explain and review on the Eric Lichtenberger signature stranger sprocket. Like always, I want you to comment on this YouTube video so that you can be entered into a contest to win a bunch of free parts from us as well as a bicycle. Hang tight, we're going to tell you how to like, comment, and turn on the notification bells in order to win that stuff later on in this video. So yeah, let's get down to talking about this sprocket. A lot of people have been riding a guard sprocket, and it's kind of changing BMX quite a bit because it's allowing you to ride your bicycle a lot longer, and there's a couple reasons why. The original sprockets used to be just a regular sprocket with no actual guard to protect it. It was just a solid piece of aluminum, and the guard sprocket now has a little guard to block, I would say, anything from hitting your actual chain. So this is the same style sprocket, but there's a bunch of different features on the sprocket that actually help you out. So let's kind of talk about them. First off, let's kind of talk about what cranks this will fit. So if you notice, this has a bore hole in it. A lot of different cranks come in different sizes, and it's kind of hard to buy stuff over the internet, or go in the shop and you can't bring your bike and stuff like that. So in order to know what cranks these fit, I'll explain it. So originally this, well actually, I don't know if it's called originally, but this sprocket comes in a 15/16 bore or 24 millimeter bore. So one piece cranks can work with this sprocket. So all you would do is pull off the little race that locks the actual sprocket on there, and you would actually slide the sprocket on there, and there's a bolt hole right here for it to slide onto your one-piece cranks. So yes, this sprocket will fit one-piece cranks. It still has original hole size, which a lot of the older sprockets come with the same size hole. So if you have one-piece cranks, it'll fit with this. If you have 24 millimeter spindled cranks, which are the newer cranks, I think Stranger Mass V2 cranks come with the 24 millimeter spindle, and some other brands come with 24 millimeter spindle. This sprocket fits that without using any spacers at all. So don't use any spacers. This sprocket comes with 2 spacers, and I'll explain those in a little bit. It also comes with a free sticker, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so 24 millimeters cranks fit on this. 3-piece cranks obviously, or 2-piece cranks, they're pretty much the same thing. So those fit on it. And then, like I said, is that the next size is down is going to be a 22 millimeter cranks. That's a lot of aftermarket cranks and stuff like that. It comes with the 22 millimeter spindle. It's a 2 millimeters smaller than the 24. It's what are on a lot of cranks. Also too, the Mass V2 cranks come in a 22 millimeter option. So if you like that size, this definitely fits it as well. This hat washer right here, this actually would go inside of it, and then you would actually bolt your 22 millimeter size cranks onto this sprocket as well. The next size is probably the most common size crank system that's out there. It's a 19 millimeter or 7/8 spindle size. Actually, shoot, I think it's no, it's is it? Yeah, it's 19 millimeter. We'll just say 19 millimeter. I can't remember. I think it's I can't remember off my head. My mind's kind of spinning. I'm kind of feeling weird today. But the next size is the 19 millimeter. This is what majority of the riders have as far as beginners. I'm saying majority because most people that ride bikes are beginner, intermediate, and they're just learning bicycles and they're trying to figure it out. So usually they got like a stock bike. So there's a lot more stock bicycles out there than there are like aftermarket bicycles. So the stock bikes usually have a 19 millimeter spindle, which you can tell if they're 19 by looking at the spindle size, sliding it through here. But usually they have like 8 millimeter or 8 spline spindle, or they have like a 48 spline spindle, or they may even have I think like a 6-spline spindle too. But profile cranks, the old school profile cranks came with them. A lot of the like free agent cranks, redline cranks, a lot of the older cranks come with them. A lot of the stock bicycles, they come with those. Some are unsealed. They actually have American bottom bracket. This will actually fit with it as well. You still need the spacer, but the unsealed ones, you're gonna need the spacer, and you can bolt that one on just like the one-piece cranks. So pretty much this sprocket fits any style crank system out there. Now, if you have like some weird, China bike or department store bike, I've seen them have like a different size spindle, and it might not even be a spindle. It'll actually be like a hexagon that actually drives the sprocket. Those bikes are throwaway bikes. So if you buy a bicycle from like Walmart or Target or something like that, those bikes aren't meant to upgrade or anything like that. It's made to kind of ride a few times, see if you like it, and if you like it, end up buying an actual bike. The cost for those bicycles is so low that by the time you thrash a wheel or something like that, a whole brand new wheel will cost you the same amount of the bike. So you get what you pay for, and just realize that if you go to IBD, which is an independent bicycle dealer, they're gonna have a lot higher end bikes, and those are made to last and to actually upgrade and to keep servicing over and over. So this sprocket fits with any cranks besides the little hexagon throwaway bikes. So if you're wondering if this sprocket fits your bike and if you should waste your money on it, then I definitely say yes, waste your money on these good products, because this is a dope sprocket. So let's talk a little bit about this sprocket. A lot of different sprockets come in different forms. They come in a steel sprocket, which is just like a flattened, cookie-cutted sprocket. A lot of the stock bikes come with those. It looks pretty generic. It may have like 5 spokes and stuff like that. It may look like a car wheel, but those sprockets tend to bend because it's just a flimsy piece of metal, and you're going to end up wanting something a little bit stronger if you're actually bending your sprocket, or you're jumping some jumps and casing, and you're actually folding the sprocket. And so what you're going to want to do is step up to aluminum sprocket. And like I said, some of them have just a regular disc. Those sprockets tend to bend a little bit more because they don't have enough meat on them, and they're kind of just, they'll hold up way stronger than the steel ones, but just the nature of the beast, they end up just bending because it's just aluminum. Aluminum's like almost similar to aluminum can. But this aluminum and a lot of the other aluminum sprockets that we sell on our website are a lot stronger because they're a lot better grade. They're actually 6061 aluminum, 7071. There's other grades of aluminum, but they're a lot harder than an actual aluminum can. So they're keeping it light like aluminum can, but they're creating it to be a lot stronger. So that's pretty much what a regular sprocket is. And then going to a guard sprocket, it's pretty much a regular sprocket with an actual aluminum disc that goes around the sprocket to actually protect it and to actually make it thicker. And if you kind of look at this sprocket here, it has kind of like I would say an I-beam type effect to it. So if you look here, there's a lot of material here, there's a lot of material here, and there's some material in between that actually connect these two. What that does is it makes it a lot thicker and a lot lighter, so that it's really, really hard to bend. So the more material that's on it, the harder it is to bend. So just in general, if you hit it sideways, it's not going to bend very easy. It's going to take a lot of hitting power to actually bend this. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen any guard sprockets bend in my, I would say, 5 or 6 years that I've been seeing these things out. I haven't seen any of these sprockets bend due to like bashes or anything like that. Matter of fact, I haven't seen any of them bend in general. I've seen cranks not spin correctly because somebody rigged something, used the wrong parts to actually put their sprocket on, but that's something else. Make sure you use the right hat washers, which those little washers that I showed you are them. But these guard sprockets, they just have a lot more meat. on it. And another thing too is that when your chain sits in here, this actual metal disc sits a lot higher than the actual sprocket. So when you case a jump and you hit it like so, or actually like so, what it'll do is it'll hit this bash guard before even touching your chain or touching any of the teeth. And let's say you do whack it really hard and you dent this thing super deep. Even though you do that, you're barely gonna touch the chain. So what that does is it protects the actual chain from actually breaking. So it actually makes your chain last a lot longer and doubles as making your sprocket last a lot longer. So if you're having problems breaking your chain and stuff like that, then I would suggest definitely getting a guard sprocket like this. This sprocket here is made out of 6061 aluminum. It is machined out of a solid piece of metal. So what it is a CNC machine is programmed by X, Y, and Z locations, and it has different end mills on it to actually grind away the material and end up actually making this sprocket. This one isn't drop forged where it's just a bunch of metal pushed into a mold and just smashed like that, which those things are pretty tough, but CNC is an actual molted block of aluminum that has been cooled down to make a solid chunk. So you know that there's no air bubbles in it, where as far as like forging, they can have air bubbles and that's where it'll actually fail. So this is guaranteed to have no air bubbles. And what they do is they stick it in a machine and the mill comes down and it actually machines out the different product. You know what I mean? So it actually is designed by CNC engineers, and they actually tell the machine to go around and to mill it out, and then it comes up and it switches different heads. So this is actually taking quite a bit of time to machine the sprocket out, and sometimes they have multiple processes where they actually have to flip the item, re-bolt it down and stuff like that. I used to work at a CNC machine shop, and we used to machine all kinds of products, and I actually would have to unbolt stuff, reposition it, bolt it back in to actually make a product. So these sprockets, they take a little bit more time to actually make because you can't just stamp them out real quick. So that's what creates these sprockets to be a little bit more. But the benefit from that is actually being able to have a super high quality sprocket, making sure that it's solid aluminum and that it's not going to actually bend on you. So this thing has a bunch of cool features in the actual machining that I noticed, and I definitely think it came out really cool. Those guys at Stranger and Eric Lichtenberger came out with the super dope sprocket. I think this is one of the coolest guard sprockets that I've seen. It has a bunch of cool features. So if you look at this, that has, you know, a beveled edge, or I would say a 45-degree edge on it with a solid guard, and then as you go in there, it's got different levels of actual material. So if you look at this one here, let's say like right here, notice that this piece of material is super thick, and right here on this one's a lot thinner. So it has these up and down kind of I would say designed to make it thicker here and thicker here. So it's pretty cool how they did that. It gives it like multiple depths, and it kind of makes it look like I would say like a car wheel, but at the same time it doesn't. And then another cool thing is they use like a ball end mill, which you can see like the rounded edge as it hits where the actual sprocket is. So all the way around the edge, they used a ball mill to hit that edge. And then another cool thing is that right here in the center, they ran another one here, and then all the way around the actual sprocket to do the same thing. And it actually just gives it like more of a textured feel. It's not just one solid chunk of aluminum. It actually has some depth to it, and it gives it kind of a shape to the sprocket. So that's super cool. This sprocket has one bolt hole, and that's mainly because they guarantee that this thing is not going to bend. This thing's going to last a long time. If you look at the actual bolt hole, this thing is super thick right there. So definitely not going to wear that thing out. And then it also has some meat right here so that your crank arm can butt up against that and not create the sprocket to wobble. Another thing is that it has laser etching on it. So it has a Stranger logo here. Yeah, that's right there, and then it's got the size of the sprocket on this side. This sprocket here comes in multiple different colors. It comes in silver, it comes in black, it comes in tie-dye, and then tie-dye is like the purplish blue color, and then they got oil slick as well, or rainbow, or jet fuel, whatever you want to call it. And I think the jet fuel one is the most popular one because of the color, but it's a lot more expensive to make it. I think these ones retail for about $35 less than the other oil slick ones. The reason why the oil slick ones are more expensive is because that they take a longer process to do. So they actually have to chrome plate them, they have to shoot some different anodizing on it in different colors, and they have more likeliness to actually not come out correctly and then end up getting rejected and having to be redone. So that creates the oil slick stuff to be a lot more expensive. And just the finish of these Stranger ones, they look phenomenal in the oil slick, as well as the black. The black is a flat black anodized, and then it also has this laser etched on here. So it looks really, really sweet, makes the logo pop. And yeah, just overall in general, I think Rich and Eric Lichtenberger and Stranger over there, they absolutely killed it on this sprocket. This is one of our most popular sprockets. Like I said, this fits on any type of crank system. So if you want a good solid sprocket that's gonna last forever, pick up this Eric Lichtenberger sprocket from our website at stackbmx.com. You could just hit that link right there, and they'll send you over there, and you could just purchase it right now. These things ship the next day, so if you're looking to get something super fast, order it from us. If you live in California or on the West Coast, it's gonna even get to you faster, possibly by a day or two. If you live all the way across the country, the cool thing is that we ship it 2 to 3 days. Most of the time it gets to Florida in 2 days. So if you're trying to get a brand new sprocket, you're impatient, you need it now, or maybe even yesterday, buy it from our website. It'll help you get back on your bike, it'll get you rolling. Make sure you check out some of our chains, and actually buy one of the chains. Actually, one other thing I want to tell you too, I forgot about it, is that the size of the teeth. These are 1/8 inch, 1/2 inch teeth, 1/8 inch wide by 1/2 inch spacing. Another cool thing is they got ramps on them. So right here, it helps your actual chain drop onto there. So the whole idea is making sure that your chain rides smoothly, and those little ramps right there, they help your chain ride super, super smooth. So that's another benefit of this sprocket, and I think that's a cool idea. I think pretty much all the sprockets should have something like that. So definitely cool. But yeah, that's Eric Lichtenberger's sprocket. This thing is dope, and if you don't know who Eric Lichtenberger is, he is the bump jumping, crank arm grinding master. He does all kinds of cool stuff. You can follow him on Instagram at Eric Lichtenberger, and check out some of his videos, maybe on YouTube. Search him up. Maybe we'll be able to ride with him soon and show some videos of him and hang out with him. But yeah, overall, if you're looking for a dope sprocket, pick this up. And you pick it up from our site, like I said, stackbmx.com. And we told you guys, we're going to tell you how you guys can win a bunch of free stuff from us. So at 2,500 subscribers, we are going to give away a free parts package filled with tires, grips, pedals, and seat from all the brands that we carry here at the store. So all you got to do is like this video, share the video, turn on the notification bells, and comment below. The first 50 people that comment below are going to be entered into that. At 5,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a free bicycle retailed at $300, shipped to you guys free of charge, and the rules apply the same way as the other rules. And just comment, like, subscribe, and share this video, and that enters you into the contest. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you guys would like to watch some other videos that are best for you, check it out right there. If you guys want to watch some more explainer reviews about other cool BMX products, check it out there. If you want to buy this sprocket, hit that button there. And if you want to subscribe to our channel and enter this contest, hit it there. Thanks a lot, have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.